Hey everybody, Jordan 9to5 Toys. We are back on the sim rig, but this time it might look a little bit different. Now, forgive my laptop over here as you might hear the fans running in the background because we are using the Moza R5 Bundle on my Razer Blade 14 playing Assetto Corsa Competizione. And this video kind of marks just over 1 year since I released my first video in the sim racing realm. In that video, I did a comparison of two kind of entry-level setups. I was trying to decide, which one would be my first sim racing setup. I had the Logitech G923 and the Thrustmaster T300 RS GT, and I was basically going to choose one at the end of that video, and much to the dismay of many YouTube commenters, I ended up going with the Logitech over the Thrustmaster. And now mainly my reason for that is because I felt like the Logitech was a solid package right out of the box. It doesn't have as much power, it's very noisy, but the pedals are very decent, and pedals and braking is a very important thing in sim racing. And if you went with the Thrustmaster, you would probably want to upgrade your pedals very quickly, and then maybe want to buy a better wheel as well. So it felt like if you were spending at the time $450 for the Thrustmaster T300 RS GT, why not spend a little bit more money and get a DD package, considering that you probably want to upgrade very quickly. So this bundle that we have here, the R5 from Moza Racing, this is kind of what I was talking about with that setup. This starts at $540 from their website. The package, as I have it set up here, has a couple of upgrades to it, and so actually the entire price shipped to my house was $625, and that is for the bundle. But there's also a $40 brake upgrade kit that makes this a lot better, because out of the box the brakes aren't that great. So we're going to dive in and take a closer look at this entire bundle and basically try to help you decide, is this something that you should pick up if you're looking for a more entry-level direct drive wheel setup. So let's dive in and check it out. So since that first video with those two other budget kind of entry-level setups, I've been having a blast doing sim racing. I try to dedicate as much time as I can to it, although it really feels like to get, anywhere competitive, I have to do a lot more time than what I am able to do. So I've been having a lot of fun playing ACC, also playing Forza Horizon 5, and learning to drift in Assetto Corsa. And here's some videos up here you can check out if you want to see some of that stuff. All right, so let's talk about this setup here. We have the Moza R5 Bundle. So that comes with the wheelbase, that comes with the wheel. It comes with a pedal setup that has just two pedals. It has a gas and a brake, and both of those, just have a little bit of spring to them. There's not any progressive feel, any progressive load in there. So we'll talk about the upgrade kit that I do currently have installed in here. And then it also comes with a desk clamp if you want to just set it at your desk. Me personally, I have it set up here at the Wheel Stand 2.0 from Next Level Racing. This is another $250 upgrade, but having somewhere solid that you can mount this does feel like a nice upgrade, and I can easily see that being something that most people with this bundle would kind of look to get before too long. And you can watch our dedicated review on the Wheel Stand 2.0 right up here in the corner. So pricing wise, it does come in at $530 for just this bundle. As I have it set up here, I have two upgrades installed. I have the third pedal on the brakes, so I have a clutch, and then I also have the brake upgrade kit. And so that adds a more progressive spring to it. It's still using a magnet sensor. It's not, sensing the pressure that you're putting on the pedal like a load cell. But it adds a much more progressive feel where you actually have to press on it a little bit. It feels a lot more realistic. So for $40, that is, in my opinion, an essential upgrade to this kit. So this entire kit, as it sits right here, the bundle plus those two upgrades shipped to my house is $625. So not bad considering that everything you're getting here. All right, and now let's talk about the wheelbase itself. Now this is the R5. Moza Racing has a bunch of different wheelbases, and basically their names kind of tell you how much power they're able of producing. So this is the R5. It can do, I think it's 5.5 Newton meters peak torque. And then, of course, they have the R9, the R16, and the R21 if you do need some more power. But this is the only bundle they have. It's this entry-level bundle. So this is that peak torque of 5.5 Newton meters. meters. You know, compared to the G923's 2.3 Newton meters and the T300's roughly 3.9 Newton meters, this is a noticeable upgrade. And additionally, this wheel has infinite rotation, so you can keep going. I think I do have it set right now. Yeah, I'm in ACC, so it's actually set to that profile where it does have locks on it. But you know, through the settings, you can turn that off and the wheel will just rotate infinitely. You know, that's something that even the Logitech Pro wheel does not have. And so you can set a ton of different parameters through the Moza Pit House app. Lots of things you can tweak in there, like, you know, the maximum angle for the wheel. And after using the G923 and the T300 RS GT, first thing you notice with this wheel is how incredibly silent it is. You cannot hear any noise coming from it. It's also very, very smooth, you know, matched with that. So, like I said, that is a huge, a huge difference from the G923. You can see in our video again just how loud that was. That is definitely one of the downsides of that wheel if it's one you're considering picking up. And of course, included in this package is the 11-inch ES wheel. It is quick swap, just have this little ring on here on the back, very easy to replace because they do have some different wheels available on their website. This one features 22 different programmable buttons, such as cam, it has a radio button, start, it has box, P, PL, FL, so lots of different things that are labeled on here that would actually, you know, correlate to a racing wheel, whereas like the Logitech G Pro wheel just seems to be kind of more catered to, or I have the Xbox version of it, so it's all Xbox controls and buttons on there. So some nice customizability on this wheel. There aren't any rotary knobs to like set, you know, the brake balance, like dial it in or anything like that. So that's one thing that's lacking that would be really nice to have, but once again, this is a very budget wheel. And the leather on here actually feels pretty decent, once again, for the price point. It's a nice stitched leather. It does feel a little bit more premium than what the wheel did from the T300, but not as good as Logitech G923. Also, one other thing to note here, it smells really weird, so something to keep in mind when you buy this. The paddle shifters are definitely one of the, you know, kind of more cheap feeling parts of this. And that's because, you know, I've been spending a lot of time with the Pro wheel, which has some really nice magnetic paddle shifters on there. This, I mean, it works fine, but it just doesn't give you the hefty feedback like those paddles do. So they do spin with the wheel. As you can see, they are attached to the wheel from this ES wheel. And for that price, the wheel itself feels really solid. I mean, there isn't really any flex, no extra play, nothing feels loose. There are indicator lights on the wheel for rev limiters. The construction is very simple, but I think that's, you know, going for it. It's kind of like those Fanatec style where it's just a very simple box to it, but I think that works really well to keep it looking nice and solid and also feeling solid. All right, and now on to the pedals. You know, like I said, in their stock form, it's really not great. It's very reminiscent of the Thrustmaster T300 RS GT pedals, and that's one reason why I didn't pick that setup, is because you either need to upgrade or replace it very quickly. But that is the benefit of this setup, is it's very easy and affordable to upgrade. You can add the clutch pedal for $40, which, you know, feels the exact same as the rest of the pedals. They're, you know, they feel solid, but they aren't anything, you know, crazy high performance. It just, you know, it's very simple and gets the job done. But if you add that brake performance kit for $30, that's what really adds some nice feel to this whole setup. You can really press on the brake then and, you know, get some good feedback. It actually feels like, you know, you're pressing a real brake pedal and actually getting down to where it would be, you know, a little bit harder of a stop. And from the Pit House app, you can set, you know, how you can set the ultimate distance of that brake pedal. So this does limit the movement of the pedal, but you can, you know, basically calibrate a new 100% so you can still reach those numbers. And additionally, in this ecosystem, there are more mods available. You know, if you want a formula wheel, you can basically unbolt this 11-inch wheel that comes with the R5 bundle and get the formula wheel, which comes in at $40. There's also a 12-inch round wheel if you're really into drifting, which this thing is great for drifting, and that comes in at $80. And that ecosystem is bigger than just wheels as well. They also have an H-pattern shifter you can buy and a handbrake, which I have the handbrake set up over on my Pro wheel over there. So, you know, considering the young age of Moza racing, it's really cool to see all these different mods and accessories you can get in here. And it really makes you realize how slow Logitech has been at all of this. You know, they still don't have a handbrake. They only just came out with a direct drive wheel. after having a lot of success with their racing wheels. So it's really surprising to me why they haven't expanded upon that more. And they have a great platform to do that now with a Pro wheel and Pro pedals. And they've teased coming out with some other upgrades, but there just hasn't been anything yet, unfortunately. But this is another place where Thrustmaster also excels because they have a huge assortment of wheels, they have different pedals, they now have a direct drive wheelbase as well, so lots of great options in there from Thrustmaster. Alright, so now let's actually race a little bit so you can get an idea of how this performs. We're in the Samantha Tan BMW, it's kind of what I always drive, and we're playing on Monza. Alright, let's see if we can get a better lap here. We're off to a good start, hopefully I don't mess it up. So maybe I won't talk very much so I can actually focus. I'm doing the, 7 laps, trying to get a really good lap here. Try to trail brake into that. Get a good exit. Very good, very good. Trail brake through here, get a good exit. Trail brake through here. I think I slowed down way too much there. We'll see. Oh, that was a little bit of a short shift. That's all right. And you can really use these curbs to this part. Oh no! There goes my personal best. That's all right. Still getting a pretty good lap. I really enjoy driving this BMW. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in all the other cars. I think just because I've spent so much time in this one, it's what feels best to me. Ooh, almost lost it there. You can kind of feel the feedback of that. You can kind of tell you're slipping a little bit, which is a lot of fun. Alright, so here we're going to try drifting, and as you can see, we're in the Pit House app, and there are a lot of different settings here that you can change. There are, presets for like rally, for Formula 1, which limits the wheel, presets for GT racing. We'll do AC official, and click on drift. We are doing drift, so let's see how that performs here. We're back on clutch kickers in the BMW. There we go, we'll get a slide going. Now once again, I'm not like a drifting god, but I do feel like this wheel works very well for this and is just a blast. It'd be a lot of fun to pick up the round wheel, the 12-inch round wheel for this. I don't have a whole lot of trouble with it, just because I'm pretty used to the D-shape wheel for drifting. Like, that's all I have, even on the Logitech Pro wheel. So I'm pretty used to it, but it would be nice to swap over to that round wheel upgrade. So maybe I'll have to pick that one up and see how it performs. That's a good angle going here. So here let's look inside the Pit House app so you can see all the different settings. So on the home page, it basically gives you a little overview of what everything's doing. And as you can see here on the brake, there are, oh, here we go, the brake, there are options to set max and set min. So with that brake mod, that actually makes it possible so you can set the max, so you don't have to like push it, completely compress that spring if it's a little bit too much force for you. Going over to the wheelbase, there are a ton of settings in here to tweak the force feedback. You can set the maximum steering angle depending on what title or what vehicle you're driving, and lots of different options in here. So like for Formula 1, if you click that preset, it automatically limits the angle to 360 degrees. GT racing, like AC and ACC, you can set those in here and it will, actually dial all that stuff in perfectly. So you can set your wheel speed, wheel strength, dampers, all of that stuff. Over under advanced settings, There are even more, little things you can tweak in here. And if you look at Moza's website, they will kind of dial in what are the best settings for individual titles on there, or their recommendations at least. And moving over to the wheel, there are more things you can tweak, like the RPM indicator. Moving to the pedals, you can see here there is an entire curve that you can tweak as well. And if you want to calibrate it, that's where you can set your maximum. So basically you hit calibration, you push as hard as you want to, and then you are good to go. And there are other accessories too, like they have digital little dashes and everything. So if you have all this stuff set up here, here's the handbrake, which we have set up over on the Logitech. There are lots of different things to add in here to tweak. So lots of great customizability from within the app. A couple other things to note here, talking about setting this up, depending on what games you're playing, that can make it a little bit more difficult. When you're using some of the Logitech stuff, it seems like everything is, ready to go right when you plug it in and open up the game. Everything works well. With this one, if you are playing Forza Horizon 5, you do have to install some configuration files, which Moza has a kind of how to do that you can easily find and you can follow it, but it does take some extra tweaking besides just opening everything up and playing. One other thing to note here is that I believe this is just intended for PC, so you can't use this with any consoles, which is a bummer compared to some of those other bundles which are set up for, PC and Xbox or PC and PlayStation. So it is one thing to consider is, what you're going to be playing and what platform you're going to be on. So, overall wrapping up here, hope this gives you a good idea, a good kind of overall view of this bundle and what it can do. Moza Racing is still really new on the scene compared to Logitech and Thrustmaster, and it's awesome to see what sort of options they have available already. I'm really excited to see what happens next in the future and to see some more upgrades, some more options, some more accessories available. For those who have been interested in stepping up to or even starting with a direct drive bundle, I do think that this is a great way to go, and it's easily upgradable, easily moddable if you want to kind of change up the feel a little bit. Having a wheel setup that has this D wheel, also has a round wheel, also has a Formula wheel for a very affordable amount of money is something that's that really sets Moza Racing apart. I really wish that this would have been around when I was doing the G923 and the T300 RS GT comparison, because I do think that this is exactly what I was feeling would be the logical step from those. Things are a little bit interesting now with the Fanatec CSL-DD, I believe just got a price cut down to like $400, so also very affordable. I'll link to that one here. Maybe we can do a shootout comparison between those at some point, but right now I am really impressed by what Moza Racing can do. Like I said, if you do get this, get that upgrade kit for the brake pedal as well, and then you'll be really happy with what this can do. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to watch some other sim racing content, I'll link to some other relevant videos over here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so others can find it easier and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.